Hello, young friends. Greetings and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Group Captain Srivastava. Young friends, I'm appearing on my own channel after a very long time. As busy family and personal commitments, sometimes they don't allow you or they don't give you enough of freedom for some creative work. Anyway, friends, in between, a number of people, they have approached me through their friends, word of mouth, or some people they have traced me from Google and they wanted to know a little bit about myself and my credentials. So, young friends, to those people who are appearing here for the first time, those who are unknown to me, I'd like to give my introduction through a slide and also through whatever activities I'm doing it in the interest of the SSB aspirants. Wait a little. Young friends, look at the slide. I'm Group Captain A.K. Srivastava, a retired education officer of the Indian Air Force. I'm a postgraduate in psychology and I have done my super specialization from Interpersona, London. You can see my YouTube handle here. I serve the SSB aspirants through two ways. One is I conduct a 14 hours of guidance program in which I cover SSB as a system and the concept of all the psychological tests. And also, I'm available to the people who want to have their dossier assessment and they want to have their feedback. Young friends, my numbers were mentioned there. In case somebody is interested to contact me, these numbers are available here on the screen also that you are seeing. Friends, before I come to the topic for today's video, I'd like to declare the dates of the guidance programs in the month of December. There will be two. Young friends, the first batch of December will commence on 11th and would terminate on 18th of December. And the second batch of December will start from 23rd and it will conclude on 31st December. For that, registration is opened. And during this 14 hours, I'll be covering the SSB as a concept, as a system, and in detail about the psychological technique. Young friends, those who are interested to join the guidance program, they can contact me on these numbers, and those people who want to have their dossier assessment come counseling, they can also approach me on this number. My Telegram handle is also mentioned here. And young friends, now let me come to the topic of today's video. देखिए, आप में से बहुत से लोगों ने मुझसे अलग अलग वक्त पे, अलग अलग टाइम पे पूछा है कि व्हाट इज द फंडामेंटल डिफरेंस बिटवीन द स्टोरीज दैट द कैंडिडेट्स आर सपोज्ड टू राइट in Pp&Dt, that is the screening test, and the psychological test, that is the thematic perception test. Well, young friends, one of my readers of my book, he has given me the screenshot, or you may say the photograph of one of the portions of my, the book in which I'm recommending the TAT stories should be on primarily 6 to 8 of the stories. They must be on the operational. That means they should be having the quality of operational, tasks. That means short term, well defined, leadership oriented, and they should be having some urgency and challenge, preferably. Now, there are other prescriptions as well, particularly or as a special reference to the presence of hero in the projected picture. So in my book, I have covered these topics, but the reader wants to know whether the same thing is applicable for the stories that the candidates write for PP&Dt. What is his query in specific? I'll first share it through a screenshot, and then I'll be giving my answer. Young friends, look at the slide. And here, this is the photograph of the particular portion wherein I have written selection and management of operational task is the only way to truly reflect the personality of a young officer. I prescribe the majority, that is 6 to 8 of your TAT stories must be around the short-term, urgent and difficult tasks. So the reader is asking, this is the screenshot of the, the WhatsApp chat between me and the reader. And he's asking, sir, are the same things followed in PP&Dt? And you can see my answer here, which I'm going to elaborate here. Theoretically, yes, but PP&Dt has a different purpose. Now, friends, there are other things. Any answer for the questions in the psychological technique must be viewed with a broader perspective. Young friends, remember, the purpose of PP&Dt is to obtain a prima facie impression of the candidate to evaluate whether the person deserves to be given 4 days of detailed testing or not. Prima facie, let me tell you, it is not to carry out a detailed personality evaluation of the candidate. In TAT, the purpose is different, and that is to evaluate you critically. So evaluation is not the, on the same scale as far as the stories of TAT is concerned and the story that you write in PP&Dt. That's one aspect. Theoretically, friends, it is not possible to evaluate anybody's personality in TAT just by reading one story. Not possible. As it is, proverbially it is told, one swallow doesn't make summer or something like that. या हिंदी में जिसे कहते हैं कि अकेला चना धाड़ नहीं फोड़ता. Okay. One story cannot be a genuine input and it cannot be relied as far as the detailed assessment of your personality is concerned. Okay. लेकिन अब आप प्रैक्टिकल एस्पेक्ट के ऊपर आइए. तो what is the purpose of the PP&Dt story? It makes the term for your group discussion. Let's say in a batch, there are 15 candidates. They must have written 15 different stories, and then they are given the instruction that arrive at the story, agreed upon, which is, common, which is agreed common. I mean, सारे लोगों के लिए एक story होनी चाहिए, which the group, agrees. The agreement is to be, reached after a group discussion. So the object of the aim of this story is to provide a term of reference, or it becomes the object of discussion. Okay. Now this story, okay, it has got a very different, as I would say, not only a purpose, but it is having some different technical aspect also. And every candidate is not oriented in the same way. Now, those people who have read my book or those who have taken the guidance from me, they will be going with a different orientation. Others might be going with a different orientation. So first of all, if you are bringing out this orientation to the people who are different, they have got the different perspective and outlook, then perhaps it will not be all that practical. For example, when I say that the hero has to be a person of your own age group and gender, and if one such a person is not available, then you have to justify the absence of that person. Hero is the part of the story, all right, but for some reason, the person is not available in the given picture. Now, your concept is this, but those people who have got their guidance from some different people, okay, many people, they find this concept that the person, okay, who is hero has to be somebody chosen from the given picture itself. So there will be definitely the conflict will be coming, and this conflict will, though, be a technical conflict, but it will not be in alignment with the purpose of PP and DT. So that is one aspect. The second aspect which I want you people to be aware of, now in the PP and DT, the evaluation is done by a team. There is one psychologist, there is one group testing officer, and there is an interviewing officer. Now, if at all your story is going to be read, then three people of whom there is only one psychologist, the GTO and the the interviewing officer, they'll be having their different take from this story. And as a psychologist, let me tell you, I can assert that the PP and DT story, if at all it is read, then it gives a different input altogether. It gives the coherence of thoughts. Its content definitely is not strong enough or intense enough or sufficient enough for your personality evaluation. Young friends, be reminded that the arrangement of the ideas, the coherence of thoughts, your expression, these are the things that one story in PP and DT, okay, reflects. But in TAT, the purpose is different. The psychologist would be evaluating your stories, and just not one story, mind you. It is the trend of the stories. What is the trend? That will give the psychologist the input for assessment of your broad employability, okay, in the armed forces as an officer. So I'm sure, young friends, that in PP and DT, whatever comes to your mind, please do not apply those principles which you will be applying otherwise in the TAT while writing the TAT stories. In PP and DT, I recommend you be just go by your general feelings, whatever is visible there, whatever is okay. You take them to be. You can make any person as a hero. You can take any type of a task, short term, long term, okay, operational task, non-operational task, anything for that matter. Because remember, this is going to be a fodder for the discussion and not for your evaluation. I assert it. So, young friends, this was the query of the reader, and to the best possible way, I tried to answer it. And I would like to summarize my answer saying that PP and DT and the TAT stories, they have got different purpose, and they're different. You have to apply this difference. You have to see the difference of purpose rather than taking it as the similar story. And young friends, before I close today, I would like to remind you, these are the dates for the two different batches in the month of December, and registration is open. You are most welcome to contact me on the number given here and on Telegram. Young friends, with this, I wish you once again the best of luck. Do contact me in case you feel that I could serve you anyway for the preparation of your psychological test and in giving you the feedback and counseling for your, psych technique test, dossier evaluation. All the best. God bless you.